My name is Elizabeth Kramer. I wanted to share something interesting that I experienced with you. When I was around 17 years old, at that time, living with my parents, it was one summer Saturday afternoon. I got up and I stretched and I was ready. I was ready to go exercising. I informed my mom that I was going out to the park. It's just right over there, not too far from my parents' house. And off I went. Walked down the street, I looked left and right. Then I crossed the street over the hill to the park. I did some more stretching. And then I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to run. So I ran around the football field area. I ran and ran and ran around and around for about 2 laps. I ran and I ran and I ran in a total of 4 laps. I feel good. I'm good. I'm ready to go back home. So I walked back and up the hill, down to the street. I looked left and right, and there was no car, so I continued walking down the street. When I got closer to the house, I was like, I saw my father sitting outside on the bench, looking, enjoying the day, watching people walk by and cars passing by left and right. I saw that. I'm like, okay, continue walking. And as I got home, my father was like, finally, if you don't mind, can you move my car from the front of the house? I was like, sure. Took the keys, and I was like, no problem. I walked to my father's car. I got in, started the engine, shift to drive, and I was ready. All I needed to go was around the block. I was like, nah, I enjoy driving. You know. So I was like, I'm going to enjoy my time and take my time and go to the right and take the longer road. And so I looked to see if there was any cars coming. I don't know. And as I pulled out to the car, and approached the first red light, I waited. And the green light came on, I was ready, and I continued driving. And then I did the second traffic light, and then it was red, I waited, turned green, and I looked, and there was no cars, so I made a right. And then, whoops, I hit a parked car. I was like, oh, what did I do? I was sweating profusely. I was like, oh my gosh, I did damage the car. What did I do? And so I backed up. And then, whoops, I backed into another car. I was like, shit. And the woman came out screaming and yelling and cussing at me. And I was like, whoa, I don't know what to do. I was like, oh my gosh. But luckily, the woman got backed up, got in, and took off. I was like, ooh. So I backed up, went around the car, and parked in the front on the side. I had to go check to see if there was any damage to my father's car. I looked and went, oh, it's okay. A little bit scratch, it's fine. I was like, ooh. All right, I got back in the car. Looked, no car. So I pulled out. And right when I pulled out, ooh, a cop car right behind me with his lights and sirens going off. I was like, oh my gosh, I never experienced this before. Maybe the cop. With the cop, I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Maybe the cop saw me hit the parked car. Oh, what am I gonna do? Cop got out of his car, walked over to me, and he was like talking to me, and I was like, what? I was like, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And he was like, all right, that's fine. Give me your license. I told him, I don't have it. It's at home. It's just right there, right around the corner. The officer said, okay, that's fine. I'll follow you home. I said, no, okay. I was so nervous. I was like, oh my, what am I going to do? What's my father going to say to me? What are we going to do? But luckily, the officer turned off his lights and his siren. I don't want people staring at me. It would be embarrassing. I was only like 2 streets away from my house. And so as I got to the house, he turned on his siren again. I was like, oh, geez, Louise. My father was shocked. He was like, what happened? Why is the cop following my daughter? And he got up and started to approach me. And I was so nervous. And I was like sweating like crazy. The officer walked towards my dad. I was so lucky. My dad recognized the officer. They're friends. I was like, ooh, score. Hope they forget. And, excuse me, the officer talking to my father. Your daughter? How come your daughter doesn't have any license or registration on her? My father said, oh, I told my daughter the moment she arrived back from her walk at the park, I gave her the key. She didn't have any time to go in the house, grab her license and registration. I'm sorry, that's my fault. Officer said, okay. Make sure next time your daughter brings her license and registration with her at all times. My father agreed. I was still in the hot seat. I was so nervous and scared. I didn't know what to do about the damage to my dad's car. Thought what the officer was going to say about the hit. Maybe the officer missed it. He was like, okay, that's fine. He got in his car and took off. And I was like, oh my gosh. That means the officer didn't see me hit the parked car. I was like, woo. My father said, that's fine. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I forgot to tell you to grab your license and registration. My fault. So I was like, ooh. I was like, never experienced that before. I've never experienced that. Something like that before. Hitting the car. I was like, oh my gosh. That was so fascinating.